Hello and welcome back to the Evil Viporium channel, where today we're going to be making the 5th video in our How to Nullscape guide, and I honestly can't believe that it's already the 5th video in this series. But anyway, we're going to be talking about Husk. Husk is a humanoid that takes the form of a humanoid character, a bit like our character in the game, but dark purple and have a really long jaw with really white teeth and some really scary looking eyes actually. That's it for its design pretty much, so let's talk about its behaviour in game. Husk is a pretty simple entity to get the grips of. Husk, after a couple of seconds of delay, will start to follow your every move, including running, diving, charging, jumping, using any ability, anything. It will copy it and just try to catch up to you and catch you off guard, meaning that retracing your steps is no longer an option and you either have to jump over it or go around it. So that's pretty much it for its behaviour. It also actually, before we move on to curses, it also emits a ambient noise, like a little bit of a theme tune. So if it gets a little bit louder, you know that you've just grazed Husk and not died to it, but you know that you've nearly just did an upsie and retraced your steps. Anyway, let's talk about its curses, and I'm just gonna sit you down for a second, and when I say this, Husk has 7 curses. 7. Let me just process that for a second. Keep in mind, entities like ICBM, Springer, and Bell have 3, 2, 3, 4. Baby has 2, and Mart has 3. Husk has 7. 7! Now, let me just see if I can actually name them off the top of my head, because I did research this, but honestly, I have the head like a sieve, so I've pretty much forgotten. There's Taller Husk, Further Husk, Random Husk, Closer Husk, Skin, what is wrong with this today? Husk Express, and Conga Line. Oh, there's also Destroyer, which is a greater curse, but I'll talk about Destroyer at the end of the curses section, because since it's obviously a greater curse, and I honestly have no idea if it's actually in the base game. I've just been told that it is. So, yeah, let's get 3 of them out of the way, because they all do basically the same thing. Closer, Further, and Random Husk. Closer Husk, as the name implies, makes the indicator delay a lot shorter, meaning that the Husk is a lot closer to you. Meaning that room for error and room for thinking is basically now under a second. Then there's Further Husk, which increases the length of the indicator delay, meaning that the Husk is now further away from you, meaning that you could have more time to think. And Random Skinwalker makes it so that the indicator delay is now completely randomized. So it's a guessing game with how much time you have to think about your next move. So yeah. So they all do basically the same thing, but they all have varying degrees of awful. So Further Husk is really not that bad. If anything, it's actually a benefit. Random Husk is alright. It's alright. If there's worse things that you've got in your curse pool, then like pick it. Like, it's not going to be too bad. And then there's Closer Husk. Do not pick this ever. Do not pick this ever. I repeat, do not pick this ever. Then let's talk about Taller Skinwalker, or Taller Husk, not Skinwalker. Taller Husk, again, as the name implies, makes the Husk a lot taller. Meaning that you now cannot jump over the Husk as easily, which is literally one of the best ways of countering Husk. But yeah, that's gone now. Yay! Yay! Make this stupid enemy worse to deal with. Great curse. I love it. Great curse. Yeah. We love Taller Husk. We love Taller Husk. Anyway, let me just save my opinions for the end of the video. And then we've got Husk Express and Conga Line, the two worst curses for this stupid enemy, without countering its greater curse, of course. Let's go over Conga Line. Triples Husk. That's all I need to say. It triples the amount of husks. So if you have 2 permanent husks, it now turns into 6 magically. Yeah, so you have 6 husks chasing you, meaning that you have to do a full, like, circle just to loop around and grab gifts that you missed. So, perfection is key if you pick Conga Line, basically. So you need to be a perfectionist to pick Conga Line. So that's just great. And then there's Husk Express, which basically makes it so you cannot go in between husks anymore. Because going through them, like, is also a valid, like, strategy, especially if you have something like Further Husk or something. So you can't. Right. Let me just do something. Let me just basically phrase this in the simplest way possible. You can't go over it. You can't go through it. You obviously can't go under it. Oh no! You have to go around it. Here's a question though. What if you're under level 5 and you don't have double jump? What do you do in that situation, especially if there's no jump pads, and there is actually a lack of jump pads early game? What do you do if you get baby Husk, and you're actually somewhat decent with Husk, but not in the early game? What do you do in that situation? Oh my goodness, no, never mind. You know what, never mind. And then let's talk about its greater curse, which, to be honest with you, even though it gets a lot of slack, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Destroyer. Destroyer basically makes it so that every Husk can now fire lasers. Now, with Conga Line, because that curse is just stupid beyond comprehension, yeah, it's a bit of a pain. But with just one Husk, and like a progression event maybe, it's not that bad, actually. So, yeah, even though it's not free or anything like that, and it is definitely one of the worst of greater curses, on paper, doesn't sound too bad. It just is a bit embarrassing if you do get zapped by a Husk firing lasers. Also, that is a really random but creative idea that developers had. W developers for that idea. That's a nightmare tool. I've never picked the curse just because it doesn't sound good, like, at all. So, with its curses out of the way, what are some tips and tricks on it? There's very few counterplay to it, but there's a couple, so let's go over them. First one, equip a trail if you struggle with Husk, because obviously the trail will now just, like, basically tell you where the Husk is, especially if, like, evil long trail, even though that's such a stupid one and that's basically cheating with Husk. I don't equip it, as you can see in the gameplay, but it's basically like having another indicator with a trail on. So you basically just follow the trail with your eyes, obviously not with your character, where you will just get led to the Husk and die. But yeah, that's pretty much it, apart from going around them and taking your time with Husk and remembering that Husk is there. That's pretty much it for tips and tricks. So let's go into my personal opinion. So, if you couldn't tell, Husk, in my opinion, is the worst entity in this game, and it's not even close. You can say, Void Breaker this, Sigil that, Shrapnel this, but on God, Husk is actually more deadly than it looks. 7 curses, including a greater curse, is nuts, and it will just pollute your curse pool early game, meaning that you can't get stuff like random spawn easily, you can't get lower gravity easily, you can't get, like, let's say you have got Springer, you can't get either like spring loaded or something like that from greater curses easily. And I bet a couple of the Husk curses are actually medal curses, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate this enemy so much that I just haven't picked it in about a month. maybe a bit longer, because I can't be bothered with this enemy anymore, because it's so unbelievably unhealthy for the game, because one of just its basic mechanic and the fact that I'm just bored of mimic characters at this point. It's so overdone, and they all do the exact same thing, which is just copy your movement. Yippee! Woohoo! Yay! Brilliant flipping enemy design. I love it. But like, it's just also the fact that with 2 permanent husks, conga line, and the progression event, that's like 12 husks on you at the same time, and God forbid you pick like Husk Express or something like that, or taller husk. Now your run is just in shambles, and you've just started the run. Well, no, not just started the run, and you've just started another level. So like, what's the point in picking it if if it's just gonna get so much worse the later on you go, because there's so much worse curses. Like, admittedly, there are worse curses in this game, but at least they're tied to like really high level entities. This is a level 1 entity. It's level 1, and it's always showing up. Like, I always get Baby, Ma, Husk, and the 3 entities I always pick are Springer, ICBM, and Bell, because I keep dying to Ma. Baby's a pain in the butt early game, and Husk is even more a pain in the butt early game, and it's even more annoying late game! Anyway, I'm getting a bit heated over this. Like, it's literally just a bunch of pixels on a screen. So yeah, I think Husk is really bad, and it's one of the hardest entities in the entire game, and you should not pick it. And if I see you picking it, literally not even to have fun, but you genuinely believe that it's actually a good enemy, then what are you doing, man? What are you doing at this point? It's not a good enemy. It's just not at all. Anyway, that's pretty much it in my opinion. And that's pretty much it for this video as well. I'm gonna try today to make another video of me ranking all of the NULLSCAPE entities, because these are just guides. Like, I don't need to add my personal opinion onto any of these. I just do, to be honest with you, because I just think it adds more to the actual video. But I'm going to make an actual video ranking all of the NULLSCAPE entities from my personal opinion and how much I like them just as a whole. So yeah, look out for that if I actually post it. It might be tomorrow that I do. But and then tomorrow, if I do post the ranking video, I will make the how-to baby video tomorrow. So and then we can just round out the early game entities, and then we can move on to the fun stuff. Yay! Anyway, that is it for this video. This is Evil Vaporeon out. Bye. Hey, this is editing Evil Vaporeon here. I actually just completely forgot to mention, genuinely thank you to everyone that watched the short. The fact that got 119 views in under a day, it's crazy. I genuinely started, like, actually crying when I saw that. I was not prepared for this in the slightest. I'm so happy that got traction. Like, you genuinely don't know how happy I was when I saw that video actually just blew up overnight. Not even overnight, it was literally like 20 minutes and it was at 80 views. That's nuts. So, yeah, thanks for that. Like, it's genuinely appreciated. Let's try and get as many likes and subs on this video as we possibly can, because at 5 subscribers I will do a challenge video. I'm not sure what the challenge video will be on at the moment, but I will make a poll, and I will, and then I'll just let everyone pick what I should do in the next video. So stay tuned for that. and I will see you in the next video, which hopefully should be later on today. Hopefully, if I have the patience to actually make the video. Anyway, this is actually editing Evil Victorian out. Bye bye.